Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing Galarian Slowpoke Spotlight Hour, and just before we start catching those Galarian Slowpokes, we're actually going to mega evolve our Slowpoke itself into Slowbro, Mega Slowbro, to get more XL candies. So let's find the Max Mega, and we'll just type in Slowpoke or Slowbro, and we'll mega evolve him. So these are all the megas that I've currently got to level 3 on the max level, and that means we'll earn the most amount of Candy XL. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to chuck a luck egg on, and we're going to do Roar of Time, and I'll explain why in just a second as well. But let's go ahead and do that Roar of Time. Put it on for an hour. So Roar of Time obviously extends your time of your items. So star pieces, lucky eggs, incense, all those do get extended. So we'll have an hour of those before then the normal timers kick in. So an hour of pause as such before we get the normal timers kicking in after that. So probably around about an hour and a half of the lucky egg. And the reason I've done that is because obviously Slowpoke is quite a nice, excellent throw to do. But also the bonus, as with every Spotlight Hour has a bonus. And today's bonus is 2 times evolution XP. So we're actually going to find somewhere just to have a little bit of a rest in between Spotlight Hour and evolve some of the P-Doves that we caught last week. If you remember, last week was P-Dove Spotlight Hour, and obviously P-Dove is one of those really nice Pokemon that is 12 candies to evolve, so really cheap to evolve. So that means we can sit there and evolve the P-Doves that we caught last week and earn 4,000 XP per evolution. So what we probably should do is just check to see how much XP we are currently on. So 484, just over 484.6. So 484.6, try and remember that for the end there. But Slowpoke, as I was saying, is a really nice, excellent throw. Now it is raining here quite annoyingly in the UK, as it always tends to do. So like I was saying, we're going to be finding somewhere to do those P-Dove evolutions and try and gain as much XP as we can out of this hour. And we also have got a couple of friendships as well. So let's go and open those gifts now while we're thinking about it. So any friendships that I'm close to leveling up, I always call one day. And then it's a easy search term to go and find the friendships that I'm close to leveling up. These can have a gift sent back. And the same again. So by all means, if you're getting close to leveling up with somebody, if you nickname them something that you can easily type, then you can quite quickly level up with them all in one go, like I'm doing here. So best friends on that occasion. And obviously there is a season bonus at the moment where you get 1.5 times XP for leveling up with friends. So instead of 100,000 for best friends, you actually get 150,000. So with a lucky egg, it will be 300,000. So it is a massive, massive difference. So we'll just wait for these to come through. So ultra friends, great friends, and of course that best friend. So straight away, we started with almost 500,000 XP within the first couple of minutes of a Spotlight Hour. Now the screen is going to get quite wet, so it is going to be a little bit of a pain to try and catch these Slowpokes. We're going to try and go for it. And obviously 2,340 XP for catching Slowpoke is also nice. And that's another reason as well that I've mega evolved a Pokemon for this, is obviously you get more XP for having something mega evolved as well. You do get that XP bonus. So a little bit extra XP for having something mega evolved. That's the same type of it, which is always nice to have. Nice little Absol just standing in my group of Slowpokes across here. So I just need to wipe my phone screen so we can try and get some more of these curveballs off without the fingers slipping too much on the screen. It's a really annoying game to play when it's raining, just for this reason. It does become a lot more harder to throw the balls and try and get the throws that you want. Hopefully it's a bit more nicer weather where you are. While it's just about spitting, not too heavy at the moment, so we'll try and get some catches done, and then we will get evolving some Pokemon. We'll also just double check to see if there's any more friendship level ups that we need to do as well. So if you're tuning in, make sure to comment down below, get in on the comments. What do you think of this Spotlight Hour? Obviously, it's nothing really super exciting. If you've played the game for a while, you would have remembered the Slowpoke Community Day that we had probably around about 18 months ago now, where we had both forms of Slowpoke appearing in the wild, similar to what we've done recently with the Ponyta, where we had normal Ponyta and Galarian Ponyta appearing in the wild for Community Day. Slowpoke had the same Community Day, same style of Community Day a year ago, about 18 months ago, and therefore a lot of people have already got this shiny. And of course the Galarian Slowpoke has already been in quite a few events as well where it's been boosted, so 1 in 64 odds. This event, it isn't boosted, so it is just the 1 in 512 odds for today's Spotlight Hour. So it will be a little bit harder to find the shiny today, but hopefully you've already managed to get quite a lot of shinies wherever you are before this event, and therefore it won't matter too much, and you're probably going to do what I'm doing as well, and that's sit there and evolve some Pokemon and just make the most of the evolution XP. So the one credit I will give to Niantic for this evolution XP bonus, so 2 times evolution XP, that comes around probably once every 5 weeks, once every 4 or 5 weeks with Spotlight Hours, is that when it does tend to come round to this added bonus, it tends to be something that's not that important to miss out on Spotlight Hours. It's not like it's a new shiny or anything like that. It tends to be something that we don't mind putting on and don't mind people missing to catch so we can evolve. But obviously today we'll try and do a bit of half and half, try and do some evolutions and try and do some catches as well. Hi Lewis, how are you? Thanks so much for commenting down below. Hopefully the weather's a little bit dry where you are. Like I was saying, really, really nice, excellent throw on the Slowpoke. You can really get into a rhythm with these Slowpokes. Shiny bird? No, unfortunately not. Now, after I've done the evolutions, we're probably going to sit and do the evolutions in a second. After I've done the evolutions, we're probably going to go and put a daily incense on. We've still not done our daily incense, you can see it there. And obviously with us having Roar of Time on, it's going to be extended as well, so that's going to be really, really good. And hopefully in the second half of Spotlight Hour, we can encounter a bird, as well as doing a bit more of Spotlight Hour. Zoromazenta, I did manage to get 1 shiny Zoromazenta so far, and it is a 98, so a 98 shiny Zoromazenta. Someone else got hardest hitter in the raid, hence why I've called it thanks for the carry, mainly because the person who got hardest hitter is also the person who always says you're welcome for the carry. So therefore I called it thanks for the carry on that behalf. And therefore it's a 98 shiny, really, really nice shiny. The hundo is 2188. It's the same as Zacian was. And I didn't manage to get a hundo Zacian, unfortunately. Not yet managed to get a hundo Zamazenta. I'll be quite happy to show you my legendaries in a bit, if you're okay with that. Let me just try and catch these spawns around here, and then I'll try and show you my legendaries at the moment. Is it just the shinies that you want to look at legendary wise, or is it just all of them as such? If it's all of them, then we might be here quite some time. Hey, Shiny Slowpoke. Nice. Shiny in this huge bunch of Slowpoke around here. And we'll just wait for this truck to go past. So all of my legendaries, let me have a quick look and see. So we got 673, so not something really that we can, what's it, we have got 200 Galarian Zapdos, which is really nice, Moltres as well, loads of Mewtwo's, Shadow Mewtwo's, Shiny Mewtwo's, also the Mewtwo's with a costume. We also have Raikou's, Shadow Raikou's, Shiny Raikou's. So we have loads and loads of legendaries. Regirocks, of course, all the Regi family. I aren't missing too many of the shinies, of the legendaries. 92%. Very nice. Not too bad at all. Shiny Mewtwo. The only thing with trading is obviously we've got to be close together. And unfortunately, we would have to power up as well our friendship a bit and just wait for our friendship to grow up, else it's going to cost loads and loads and loads to trade over a legendary, especially a shiny legendary, with being the lowest friendship. It is a shame that trading isn't something that you can do globally. It would be a really nice feature, even if you just released it out. Unfortunately, I wouldn't like you to do that, but just because I don't want you to get banned for the sakes of doing a trade with me. I'm a bit conscious when people want to try and spoof to me. The last thing I would do is want to get someone banned for doing that activity. I know it's obviously their choice to do it, but still, it's not a nice feeling if I found out someone got banned because he came and visited me to do a trade. One of my dream Pokemon is Mewtwo. Yeah, it is a really, really nice shiny Mewtwo is. And the costume Mewtwo as well. It is a really, really nice shiny with costume Mewtwo. It's the one from the movies where it has the armoured Mewtwo. And it is such a nice shiny. Well, it hasn't actually been released shiny, the armoured Mewtwo hasn't. Let's just get rid of some of these Slowpokes. Sorry about this, I'm all over the place at the moment. Let's just get rid of these. And we'll get catching Slowpokes. But yeah, the armoured Mewtwo only came around twice on raids. Once it came round and it didn't have Side Strike, which is obviously Mewtwo's legacy move. You have to use a elite charge gem to get to Side Strike. Shadow Dialga would be amazing, yeah. That would be really, really cool. Especially if you did the Origin Form Dialgas as well, that would be awesome. Origin Form Dialga and Palkia Shadow would be incredible. So let's just quickly try and catch as many of these as we can before we move on a little bit, and we'll just go up here a second and start evolving some of these P-Doves to try and get the most out of this XP bonus. Shundo, Giratina, Dialga, Palkia. I've got a Shundo, Giratina, not a Dialga, Palkia or Mewtwo, unfortunately. But yes, I have got a Giratina Shundo, and it is the origin form as well, which is a better form. It was actually a lucky Shundo, so it's a Schlundo, as otherwise known as. Quite a few of the hundos that I've managed to get are off lucky trades, especially of the legendaries. A better stacked account, in terms of stacked, do you mean like Pokemon as such, you know, getting the most sort of Pokemon, the best sort of Pokemon? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I could do basically a video where I just go through my shinies. I could do that, if that's something that you want. Is that what you mean? Video of just looking through my shinies as such? So probably, well, legendaries and shinies, obviously, it's just time and graft, and whenever we come on raids, you just try and hit them as hard as you can. Obviously, not everybody has loads of money to put on the game, I understand that, and obviously not everybody can do the amount of raids as other people can, but when you can, just try and, when you know a legendary is coming up, let's say, or a raid hour where you know people are going to be there raiding, if you are sort of trying to retain your passes, then save your raid passes. So let's say Giratina, let's say for example Giratina was to be released tomorrow on raids. I know it's a couple of days away, but let's say Giratina was to be released tomorrow on raids, then if I already got the Zeramazenta shiny, don't really want to do any more Zeramazentas, I'd save my raid pass for today, use it tomorrow for Giratina, so you get 2 free raid passes tomorrow. You can sort of use today's pass and tomorrow, and then you also get tomorrow's pass afterwards. So then it just cuts down on raid pass cost by sort of retaining and making the best decision on when to use your free raid passes. And then if you can, obviously just try and raid them as much as you can to try and get better stats. Well, it is just all a luck and chance whether you're going to get a shiny, whether you're going to get a good one, whether you're going to get a good shiny. It is just all stats and luck. Sometimes you might get a Shundo first raid, you might never get a Shundo for 20, 30,000 raids. So it's just one of those. It's completely luck based when you start talking about raids. In terms of other Pokemon that are in the wild, then I would just say if there's any event where there's a good Pokemon, so for instance Tyranitar is always a good Pokemon, good dark and rock type, so it's a good example in this case. If there's an event where Larvitar is, then I would really, really push and grind that event as much as you can. I did that with Cranidos. Cranidos came out a couple of years ago as shiny for one of the adventure weeks, probably about 2, nearly 3 years ago now, for one of the adventure weeks. And during that event, I was literally doing 12, 14 hours a day, just grinding, catching as many Cranidos as I could, trying to find hundos, trying to find shinies. And eventually I ended up with an awesome team of Rampardos, which obviously Rampardos is one of the best Pokemon in the game in terms of attack stat. And it is the best rock type of all time in the game. And it was definitely worth a grind in terms of that respect. Obviously Shadow Rampardos now has beaten Rampardos itself, but still the candies can be used for them. And I would just say if there's going to be a decent, what we sort of call Shundo legendaries, so those Pokemon that have the same sort of attack stats as legendaries but can be more easily obtained, then I would really go after those events and try and get as many candies as you can. Don't be too disheartened if you don't get too many shinies of the Pokemon you're getting candies for. It is literally just the candies that you want, because I'll show you my Rampardos squad so you can sort of see what I mean by the amount of Rampardos that I've managed to get. So these are my Rampardos squad. So these are hundos that I've managed to get. So level 50, level 50, level 50, level 50, level 50. These are all hundos. There's even a shundo there. Hundo, another hundo, another hundo, another hundo. 98, but my first ever best buddy, hence why I level 50'd it. 93 shadow, 98, 98. So these are now down to level 40 just because they're only 98, and this 87 as well. So you can sort of see the extent of how much I went after Cranidos, and you can also see, even though I've completely maxed a load of those out, you can see how much candy I've also got left. Oh, no way, that's rubbish. Sorry to you about that. Yep. So whereabouts are you then? Are you in Florida itself, or I know you said the hurricane hit, I'm guessing you mean Hurricane Milton, which is obviously on the news here in the UK and I presume everywhere else. Hopefully you're not right in the midst of it. Hopefully you can get to safety. So we've got quite a few tasks here to tick off, so we'll just tick these off. And then we will start grinding. So do you think it's worth spending 30 quid for the raids, Giratina, which is 21 raids? So to be honest, if you were to put money on the game, I would only put money on the game if you see the decent raid box come in. And when I say decent raid box, so when you go into a shop, all the boxes that you see here, these limited time only boxes, yours might be different to mine. You might see different ones than what I do on my screen here, but there is a box in particular which is for 5,200 coins, which is the reason I'm saving my daily coins up. But for 5,200 coins, you get 99 passes. So that is the best box for raid pass to money, coins. That is definitely the best box in terms of that. So it works out roughly about 57, 52 coins per raid. So that is really, really cheap. It's virtually 2 for the price of 1 when you compare it to the standard raid passes at 100 each. So it is really, really good raid pass value. So I would only really tell you to put money on if you see that box in the shop. And then obviously you can use them whenever decent raids come out. Giratina is a really, really nice Pokemon. Obviously it is one of the most sought after shundos because of just how it looks, and obviously it is really, really useful, or it can be. But as a ghost type and as obviously a dark type, which it is as well. Is it a good dark type or is it a dragon type? Ghost and dragon, sorry. So as a dragon type, it's obviously completely smashed out apart by loads of other legendary dragons, including Mega Rayquaza and normal Rayquaza. But then as a ghost type, it's still up there as one of the best ghost type, but it has fell down the pecking order because of all the shadow ghosts that have been released, and obviously Mega Ghost type as well. So it is a little bit whether you want to raid it just because of a shiny, or whether you want to raid it to try and get a good one. My Shundo Giratina, I do use it from time to time, but it's very rarely that I do, because it just has fell down the pecking order that much. But still, it is a really, really nice Pokemon. But yeah, I would say to save up as many coins as you can, try and wait until that box is in the shop where you get 5,200 coins for 99 raid passes. Obviously a few other little bits as well, but mainly the raid passes. That is definitely the best box for that, and I always try and save up for that box myself. So Hundo Giratina, Jirachi, that is incredible. I haven't seen anybody with a Hundo Jirachi, so well done for that on Saturday. Congrats. I bet it's really, really nice to get our research done as well. I bet you've been working on that for a while. So congrats on that. So we are going to be evolving some of these P-Doves and try and work our way through these as quickly as possible. Obviously, we're only going to evolve into the middle form, Tranquil. We're doing this because it is 2 times Evolution XP during the Spotlight Hour. Obviously, we've already got a shiny off this Spotlight Hour, And if you weren't tuning in before, as I was saying before, then Slowpoke had a community day a couple of years ago now, about 18 months ago, and you could get it shiny, of course, and it was one of the community days that was similar to Ponyta that we've recently had. It was both forms of Slowpoke appearing in the wild, so therefore you've probably got plenty of these before, so it is a nice time to try and make the most of this 2x evolution XP. And of course, at the end, we'll try and review how much. See you later, Lewis. Thanks very much for watching. Make sure to tune in. We'll be having our daily incense on, and we might see a bird. So make sure to tune in. Thanks for tuning in so far, and I'll see you soon. But for the rest of you, we're just evolving these. We're going to be catching a few of these Slowpokes at this moment in time as we evolve these. Under a bit of tree cover as well, which is good because the rain is still going here in the UK. It is annoying that you can't evolve any quicker than what it currently is. It's annoying that you can't skip the animation or anything like that, and you just have to watch the animation go through. But this is a good time. If anybody's got any questions, then let me know in the comments below while we're just evolving these. It's a lot easier to be answering your questions now than it is when I'm catching. So if you've got any questions, let me know down below. But things that are obviously on the horizon, Pokemon Go wise, we've got the brand new event released as well. There's some more info about that as well, the Go Wild area event, and that is looking quite a decent event actually. We've just been announced that the Popstar and Rockstar Pikachu are going to be returning to the game, maybe in shiny form, we don't know yet, but that would be really, really nice. And also we have a brand new costume Pokemon. Snorlax will be wearing sort of like a rocker leather jacket. So that's going to be quite a nice shiny to go after. It will be in the wild in-person events leading up to, so that's a week before the Go Wild Global. And then in the Go Wild Global, the Snorlax will be on level 3 raids, so you'll have to raid it to try and get that shiny costume. Now, most of the time in those sort of events, the shiny costume on 3-star raids is normally 1 in 64 odds, so hopefully we can get that, and I will definitely be showing that on the channel if we do manage to get that. But somebody quite nicely brought me a ticket the other day and gifted me a ticket, even though it's $11.99 in the shop. It was really, really nice that they gifted me. Why is it light out? It's just still a little bit light. It's not too bad. Perhaps the camera's showing it a little bit more lighter than what it is. But yeah, I would say in a couple of weeks' time, the clocks will change here in the UK and it will be pitch black dark by this time. But yeah, it's still a little bit light out at the moment. Bit of a dusk sort of vibe at this moment in time. We'll miss the shiny one and we'll go into the other ones. No way. Really dark and pouring in London. I'm surprised by that. It's raining here, but not too bad as such. Perhaps that's another factor as well. Perhaps it's the dark clouds above you while it's raining. So this, every time we're doing this, it's gaining 2,000 obviously for evolution, the 2x evolution. It's normally 1,000 for an evolution of a Pokemon. This hour it's 2,000. Because we've got our lucky egg on, it doubles up to 4,000. So each P-Dove that I'm evolving at this moment in time is 4,000 XP, which is a crazy amount really. And if you were evolving new Pokemon, so you were evolving something into a evolution form that you hadn't yet got registered in your Pokedex, then that would be 3,000 during this hour, which then doubled would go up to 6,000. So that's also a really nice thing to be doing as well. If you have got some Pokemon you haven't yet evolved and got registered into your Pokedex, then you can do them during this sort of evolution XP hour, and you'll get quite a lot of XP. But normally it's fitting really well actually, this has, because obviously we had P-Dove Spotlight Hour last week, which is the Pokemon, or one of the Pokemon that you can be evolving for only 12 candies, and we saved quite a few of them. Not all of them, of course, but we saved quite a few of them. Hi mate, thanks very much for watching and commenting down below. Hopefully you're all right where you are. Getting rather sick of seeing the sight of Tranquil. But yeah, after this, after we've evolved some of these, then we will be doing our daily adventure incense, because we've put our lucky egg on. Nice, thanks very much for watching, Drew. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We're close to 1,000 subscribers now as well, so the target was always trying to get to 1,000 before Christmas. Hopefully we're going to be able to do that. Last time I checked, we were on about 961, so we can hopefully get to the 1,000 mark before Christmas, maybe even before Halloween. We'll have to wait and see. Cheers, thanks so much. I don't really know what I'm good at the moment. 967, cheers for your update, Drew. That's mint. We've had 6 subscribers, 6 brand new subscribers since we've gone live this Spotlight Hour. Yeah, obviously, at the start of the hour, we had sort of looked at our XP total, and we were going to see what we ended up with at the end of the Spotlight Hour with all these evolutions and the catching of Slowpokes. And then also we had a couple of friendship level ups, and we're just going to check after we've evolved these to see if we've got any more friendship levels up that we can sort of make the most out of this lucky egg with. I'm running really, really low on lucky eggs at the moment in time, but I don't really want to have to buy some in the shop. But yeah, it has worked in really well with the 2 Spotlight Hours back to back, the P-Dove last week, and then there's 2 times Evolution XP. It's very, very rarely nowadays that I actually sit there and evolve loads of things during a Spotlight Hour. It was something that I religiously did. It's definitely a really quick way to level up if you're still leveling up. It is definitely something that I'd recommend. Probably, thanks very much. Thanks very much for your compliment. So yeah, probably during a Spotlight Hour where I'd just evolve stuff like this for the whole hour, I would probably earn towards 750,000 just from evolving itself. If you have any friendship level ups, and obviously you can go over that 1 million mark. But yeah, 750,000 just from evolving is really, really a huge amount, especially when you're working on leveling up. So it's definitely something I would recommend. Trying to keep hold of those 12 candy XP, 12 candy evolution Pokemon, similar to P-Dove. Obviously, you got Pidgey, Rattata, for example. Keeping hold of those 12 candy Pokemon to evolve, and evolving them during the time. Sorry, I think Rattata is 25, actually, sorry. But yeah, you know what I mean. The 12 candy Pokemon. So it's 6:34, so we have got 26 minutes left of a Spotlight Hour. And from there, we'll also trying to get, obviously, our Galarian birds from the daily adventure incense, which we've still not done, but because we've got that Roar of Time on, extending that lucky egg and star piece, then we might as well do our daily adventure incense and get a bit extra time from it than the normal 15 minutes. It's a little bit annoying, really, that with the event of the shiny birds being introduced, that the normal daily incense hasn't been extended They have done that in the past. They've had events where the daily adventure incense lasts for half an hour for an event. It's a shame that we haven't really done that. Plus, the rate in which the Galarian birds are spawning is very, very disappointing for an event where they're shiny releases. But the only good thing is that the shiny odds of the Galarian birds are apparently the same as legendary, so 1 in 20. So if you do see a Galarian bird, then you've got just as much chance of it being shiny than if it was on a raid. So that is also something really, really good about them. But it is going to be an absolute nightmare to try and find them. I did see a video the other day which really pained to watch. There was somebody who got a shiny Galarian Zapdos. They had over 150 Pokeballs. Unfortunately for them, they didn't have any Great Balls or Ultra Balls. And they used all their 150 Pokeballs trying to catch it because it was over 3,000 CP, this shiny Galarian Zapdos. So it was incredibly difficult to catch. That's something that we haven't increased. It's obviously flee rate, it won't run away, but their catch rate is still very, very low. And they didn't have any Master Balls. They used all their 150 Pokeballs. They completely ran out of Pokeballs. And it was sat there on the screen, still bouncing, with no Pokeballs left to throw at it. So the only option we had to do was to run away from it. It was really, really heartbreaking to see that somebody was in that predicament. Obviously, you can now buy Pokeballs, but obviously, I don't think this person had any coins either on their account. So it was super, super unlucky that that happened to him. I'm really glad in a way that I've not used any of my Master Balls, because in that situation, I would definitely use a Master Ball, even though it is a pretty much guaranteed to, well, it's guaranteed not to run away at least. So it's just basically time and a load of Pokeballs. But once I've got through 150 Pokeballs, if you're still not caught, then I wouldn't mind using a Master Ball on it. But yeah, it was deadly upsetting to see for that person. So we've got a couple of more of these to evolve, and then we'll get catching again. And then we'll have a update on how much XP we've earned at the end. That is obviously one of our goals of the year as well, is to try and get us up to 500 million XP, which is 500 million XP by the end of the year. That was one of the goals I set myself at the start of the year. We started on 334 million at the start of this year, which about 14 million a month on average to try and earn 166 million in 1 year. It does take some doing. It's half a million XP every single day, which of course if you have a bit of a slow day, then it means you've got to do double that the following day. So it soon does catch up if you don't get towards that target every day. But yeah, I think it is a target that we are on track for at this moment in time, so hopefully we will get that. But I do monthly update videos on those targets that I set myself at the start of this year. So if you haven't already seen them, make sure to check them out on my channel. Is anyone else getting sick of a side of Tranquil? I'm really getting sick of side of Tranquil now. Hopefully everyone else is in agreement. Won't be getting sick of a sight of a 4,000 XP either. It's a shame that doesn't come up on the screen instead of Tranquil. But yeah, it is definitely one of those spotlight hours that if it's raining outside or in the midst of winter, then you can definitely sit at home in the warmth and keep dry and just thrash out those evolutions and try and get as much XP similar to what I'm doing here. But instead of being walking around outside in the wet, you'd be at home in the dry, which is always a positive, earning just as much XP as what I'm currently doing. So So 20 minutes left to go. We haven't got too many P-doves left to do, I don't think. We have got a lot of Tranquil now to chuck in a bin. $36 left. I don't think I'm going to be doing all them. We'll do a couple more and we'll call it, I think, on the P-doves. And then we'll get our daily adventure incense turned on. Rain seemingly definitely slowed down. So obviously tomorrow is raid hour, and of course we have got Zemazenta, tomorrow's raid hour, and then towards the end of this week we've got the return of Giratina. Now there is a unannounced event which nobody really seems to know what's happening at the end of the month. It's a little bit of all of a hidden surprise by Niantic. Something that we've not done for quite a while is to do one of these unannounced events, and a lot of people are guessing what it could be. A lot of people are trying to guess what this unannounced event could be. Any sort of inclines, let me know in the comments. Some of my guesses may be completely barking up the wrong tree, but with it being, I believe it's a 26th or something like that, it says on one of the infographics, it's a weekend where the 26th is involved. It could be 26th, 27th or 25th, 26th, I think. One of those. During that weekend, there's going to be an event happening both days. So potentially 2 raid days or something like that. With it being around the Halloween period, then could it be something to do with Gengar? Gengar normally comes out with different costumes at Halloween. It's had a couple now these last few years. So could it be something to do with Gengar? Perhaps the Gigantamax Gengar or the Dynamax Gengar one day and the Gigantamax Gengar the next day, potentially. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. And then someone else approached me the other day and came up with their suggestion that it could be Shadow Giratina raid weekend. That would be really, really cool. Shadow Giratina raid weekend. Obviously, we are working through the legendaries at the moment. Obviously, Heatran is now under the control of Giovanni. You have to try and save Heatran from Giovanni, starting from today, actually. The Rocket event started. So you can get Shadow Heatran, but Giratina is in the same region as Heatran. It is due to be one of the next ones to be released, and it would be a really, really big coup for Niantic to put Shadow Giratina on a raid weekend, because the amount of raid passes they'll earn revenue-wise during an event like that would be huge. So it could be something like that. You know, we've done that obviously with Ho-Oh and Lugia, and I think we've had Lugia twice now, and we've had Ho-Oh once, and then obviously we've had Mewtwo twice for a raid weekend. So it could be something to do with that. So we'll have to wait and see. But let me know in the comments below what you think this unannounced event is at the end of this month. Any inclines on what you think it could be, let me know. I'm sure one of us will get it right anyway. But yeah, it's definitely got to be something to do with Halloween. 26th and 27th of October. It just screams that it's something to do with Halloween. And not really any major information has been given for Halloween this year. So we're going to stop doing the evolutions at this moment in time. 224,000 XP has just come up on our screen there. That's really, really cool. And we're going to try and just quick catch the Slowpokes that are around here. And then we're also going to put our daily adventure incense on. So let's get that turned on. A couple of Pokemon down here that aren't nothing to do with Spotlight Hour. That's a bit weird. First spawn off a daily adventure incense is a Slowpoke. Disappointing, to say the least. So that second spawn we just had, I think it's a Dino. Now the spawns have changed on the daily adventure incense. You'll probably see a few Pokemon that you didn't used to see before. The likes of Miltank is starting to appear on them. There's quite a bit of a mix up with the daily adventure incense, but still it's only really the Galarian birds that you need to be keeping a lookout for on that daily incense. Did any appearing in the wild during Slowpoke Spotlight Hour? Trying to take a little limelight off Slowpoke. Clauncher, still a shiny that I haven't got. Clauncher, very, very nice shiny indeed as well. Shadow Lunala raid weekend, that could be a good one. That would be really, really good actually. I wonder if he will do the Shadow of Lunala and Solgaleo. That'd be really interesting actually if he do. And how we go about it. It's getting a little bit dark here now. Still managing to do these excellent throws on the Slowpoke. Wooloo. Spent ages trying to find that shiny Wooloo. The event where that was released shiny really did do my head in. Spent absolute ages trying to find it. Ended up finding the first shiny Wooloo. 2,509 clicks into the event. So to say I really went after it, a little bit of an understatement. And then it only took a 50 more extra clicks, 2,559 to get the second one. So that's sort of how this game works. 12 minutes left of the Spotlight Hour. We won't be going any further down today just because of the time. We will catch these Slowpokes around here and see if anything appears on the daily incense. So we just got a one shiny so far, right at the start of the Spotlight Hour. Let's just check to see if we've got any hundos during this walk around. We haven't. We did get a hundo Galarian Slowpoke about a week or so ago now that you've just seen pop up there. Shiny wise, let's see how good this shiny was. Absolutely terrible, as we fully well predict. Scorpy on the daily incense. Catch that. Shinx is always a nice wild spawn as well. Shinx was one of those Pokemon that everyone was raiding, a bit like Rockruff at this moment in time on level 1 raids. Shinx was one of those Pokemon that was on level 1 raids. And just like that, shiny Shinx. So yeah, level 1 raids was the Shinx years ago. It obviously then had a community day, which sort of annoyed quite a few people who had been raiding it, spending loads of raid pass trying to get the shiny. And then obviously it's in the wild. It is 1 in 64 odds, so I'm not too surprised that I've managed to get a shiny there. But it is a really nice shiny. Hey Rev, how are you? Thanks very much for joining again. So yeah, we'll get back in the swing of catching the Slowpoke. That's 2 shinies now during the Spotlight Hour. Not exactly both Slowpoke, 1 Slowpoke and 1 Shinx. But we'll try and get back into the swing of trying to do our excellent throws on the Slowpokes. Another Galarian Slowpoke off the daily incense. So if you have just tuned in, we did get a shiny Galarian Slowpoke about 10 minutes into the Spotlight Hour. We then caught obviously quite a few more Slowpokes. Still hunting those shiny Slowpoke. Well, good luck. Thanks very much for tuning in while you're hunting them yourself. But yeah, if you are just tuning in, we did get a Slowpoke about 10 minutes in. We've also done some opening of gifts to try and do friendship levels while we've had a lucky egg on. And another reason for having a lucky egg on is that it's 2 times evolution XP during this Spotlight Hour, which means you can evolve something and earn twice the amount of XP as normal. And obviously if you have a lucky egg on, it means that you get 4,000 XP for every evolution. So we've been evolving some of the P-Doves, which we saved from last week's Spotlight Hour, which are only 12 candy to evolve. And we've just stood and evolved quite a few of those, actually, around about 50 of those. Earned 224,000 XP from doing that. And now we're back on the hunt with our daily adventure incense. And obviously the Roar of Time, which we put on at the start, extending that for a bit for us. And we're hunting down the Galarian birds while we're doing Spotlight Hour. So pretty much a rundown of where we are at if you're just joining. But yeah, the weather is really terrible. It's not too bad now where I am. So the odds for the Slowpoke, there has been events where it's been 1 in 64. Unfortunately today is 1 in 512 odds. So it is full odds for the shiny Galarian Slowpoke. Normally the Galarian version of the Pokemon has 1 in 64 odds, same as Ponyta, Stunfisk, and obviously Slowpoke used to have 1 in 64 odds, but since they've increased it to 1 in 512. So it is full odds shiny. So hopefully you can get one during the Spotlight Hour. But if not, don't be too disheartened, it is full odds. So it is always going to be quite difficult. Now, being that we're heading this way, we'll also try and do a route as well. We'll just wait for this wagon go past. So we'll start a route as well. We'll go pub to pub and we'll start that route. We might as well earn an additional buddy heart. And there is a little hint as well with the, oh, there you go, we've got a bird off the incense. Perhaps not the bird we wanted, but a Tranquil. We're sick of seeing Tranquil, actually, after evolving all those P-Doves. But yeah, there is a little tip as well. It's a rumour more than anything I've heard online, is that when you're using your daily adventure incense, it's better to be doing a route than to not be doing a route. So definitely try and do your incense while you're following a route. And apparently there's an increased chance that you're going to get a Galarian bird. Now, this is just one of those things which may or may not happen. It's definitely worth a try at least. But just see for yourself and see if it helps you with a Galarian bird hunting. Hopefully it does. And then another little tip as well for the Galarian birds is that apparently they tend to spawn in the same spawn spot or similar spawn spots than previous. So potentially if you remember where you encountered a Galarian bird one day, in a couple of days time it might be in that similar sort of spot. So definitely try and walk the same route when you've encountered a bird. Try and keep doing that route. Apparently that is also a better way to get the encounters. All of this is sort of people's theories online that I've been reading, but all of them are worth a try, just to try and get better odds of getting the Galarian bird encounters. And like I was saying before, Galarian birds are 1 in 20 shiny odds now they have been released. In terms of Slowpokes, this event, I've only had one during the Spotlight Hour. I had loads of these Galarian Slowpokes before, because it had a community day around about 18 months ago now. It had a community day, so let me just have a quick check and see for you. So Slowpoke, so there you can see 25 shiny Slowpoke. That's not including ones I've evolved. Obviously some of these have hats on as well, but the Galar Slowpokes, you can see them appearing quite often there. The all yellow ones are the Galar ones. So it is actually quite a nice shiny as well, compared to the normal Kanto Slowpoke, which only goes to a bit of a fainter pink. So the Galar is probably definitely the best shiny out of the two. Clauncher again, no shiny. A little bit disappointed with that. Trying to avoid the low-hanging branches smacking me in the face. As it is autumn this time of year, it's quite a few low-hanging branches. Pretty much turned into total wipeout while I'm doing Spotlight Hour, which is quite fun. Only 4 minutes left of the Spotlight Hour. Still only the one shiny so far. We will have a bit of a roundup as well at the end of this video, just to see how much XP we've earned, as well as how many shinies or hundos we've managed to get. We will round it all up. Hi, you alright? So being that the event hasn't started in your country, whereabouts are you based? Are you, obviously I'm guessing you're more America side of things, but yeah, it will be 6 PM to 7 PM your local time. It happens every Tuesday, Spotlight Hour does, but different Pokemon and different bonuses. Brazil, yeah, so hopefully around about, I think around about 5 hours for you, is it? Something like that. You'll get the, yeah, so 4 hours for you then. In Brazil, it will be happening. So you're just 5 hours behind me now. So hopefully you manage to get a Slowpoke if you've not already got one. You have to make sure to come back onto the channel after your Spotlight Hour and let me know in the comments below if you managed to get one or not. Hopefully you do. Fingers crossed. I'm guessing this current event is actually quite good for you as well. I'm guessing one of your favourite Pokemon is Absol, with it being in your name. So it's a nice, nice event to be having Absol. Greetings from Poland. Thanks very much for watching. I would always suggest that, really. I would always suggest expecting that you're not going to get one, and then it's always a positive if you do. Whereas if you go out expecting to get one and you don't, then you end up being really disappointed. So I would definitely plan that you're not going to get one, and then it's a lot better feeling when you do. But hopefully you do. I've got all faith in you. And hopefully you've got a little bit better weather than what I have here as well. Yeah, so the catch rate, unfortunately, on the Galarian birds is incredibly low. Around about 0.03, I think it is, something like that. It can be increased, but it's very, very, well, there is a few ways to increase it. Obviously, it all depends on the Pokemon's level, your level, your typing badge. So for instance, if it's a Zapdos which appeared, or an Articuno, then you would need a flying or an ice type badge. 15, 15, 13. Definitely with it having attack, if it's one of your best ones, I would probably say keep it for now as it is. It will be featured again in raids. Origin, Dialga and Palkia will be featured when that Go Wild area event comes back out. So I'll definitely save it for now, earn my candy during that event, reevaluate which one's your best one after that one, and then power it up. But yeah, it's definitely one that I would put into the power up pile. But yeah, just keep all out for now until that event is coming out. The last thing you want to do is spend loads of Stardust and candy powering up that one, and then you end up with a Hundo or something, or a 98 for instance, off that event, and you'll be kicking yourself. So make sure to wait for that event to happen, the Go Wild event at the end of November, when they'll be reappearing. But yeah, we'll have a quick little overview and then we'll be finishing the video for today. But we have still got the daily adventure incense going, so hopefully if I do encounter any Galarian birds, I will let you know and I will put them in YouTube shorts. But I will keep you informed with that if we do see any. But let's just have a quick update on how we managed to get on this Spotlight Hour. So we managed to get 2 shinies. We got Shiny Shinx, which was a bit of an unusual shiny during the Spotlight Hour, but still 1 in 64 odds for Shiny Shinx, so not too surprised that it sparkled. And then we got a Shiny Galarian Slowpoke, which is obviously the Spotlight Hour featured Pokemon, which is 1 in 512 odds, so quite happy to get one of those, although it has got a community day, or it had a community day, should I say, 18 months ago. We have got quite a few of them. Still nice to see sparkles on the screen while we're live streaming, so that you can all see it. So they are the 2 shinies that we managed to get, and then we'll just have a quick look and see what else we managed to get. Did we get any Hundos? Unfortunately not. We did get a Hundo Galarian Slowpoke a couple of weeks ago now, 29th of the 9th, as you can see there. So a couple of weeks ago now, we managed to get one of those off a research task as well, actually. So they are research task CPs. And then let's just have a quick look at that XP. So we started the hour at 484.6, and we ended the hour 1.1 million over. So 1.1 million earned in the hour. So that is a really, really decent amount of XP in 1 hour. So if I can do it, you can definitely do that. Make sure to save your evolution Pokemon, the ones that are cheap to evolve, the 12 candy ones like I did, the P-Doves. Make sure to save them for the next time this 2 times evolution XP comes round, and make sure you make the most of it. But that's been my live stream. Thanks very much for tuning in. Make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well, and we'll be going live again next week. So, sorry, let me just read that last comment. Tip for a new player, Super Radar, Giovanni, we'll come to. So, the Giovanni Super Radar, obviously you'll encounter Heatran this time. I would definitely get Heatran. I wouldn't save it, I would definitely get Heatran, because Heatran is actually quite a decent fire type anyway, especially with its legacy move, Magma Storm. So I would definitely try and get a decent Shadow Heatran with Magma Storm. It could be up there. As very much for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.